I welcome you to IELTS Precision program. Once you log in, you land at this page that is called your student dashboard. Let me walk you through all the features which are here. Here's the dashboard button. That's in fact sort of a home button of this page. Wherever you are, if you click it, you'll reach this basic dashboard. On the left side, there are a lot of buttons. Let me walk you through what they are for. The first one is vocabulary. These are vocabulary tests. Then the grammar tests. Then test format understanding test. Then there are text comprehension practices and there are accent training. Next, these four are IELTS skills. Once you learn some IELTS question solving techniques, you can practice those skills here. Then there are resources. You can click it to access a lot of documents to develop your grammar, vocabulary, and ideas for writing and speaking. And you can access lectures from here. Then there are recent results because there are a lot of tests on this page that you can perform, and you can access all your results from here. And you can check your recent performance through this tab. Finally, there are certificates. If you move from one language level to another one, for example, if you're at level B1 and you move to B2 by clearing all the tests at this level, you get a system issued certificate. These are of course internal certificates, but they can also be used at some professional or workplace scenarios. Okay, now this middle part is perhaps the most important feature of this student dashboard, because this is your very elaborate and thorough student journey. If you follow this along, you can clearly pass from one level to another. And this student journey covers every aspect that's there. It ensures that your vocabulary is at required level, your grammar is at required level, and you learn every question type technique that is required to pass this particular level to the next one. Okay, now let me show you how you can use this student journey. There are three important places where you can click to access your current step. First, you can click here, or you can click continue journey, or you can click this first step. Whichever you click, you will land your first step. For example, the first step is a lecture. So you watch a lecture here. Once you watch a lecture and complete it, the first step of your, then you can go back from dashboard here. Then the first step will be marked as completed and the second step will appear here. Then if you click any of this or that button, you reach your second step. Once you complete that step as well, then you reach your third, fourth, and fifth step. If you want to randomly access any step, you can access it from here. For example, if I want to jump to fifth step, I can click here and reach my fifth step. So this is how you can navigate in a linear fashion, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can also access any step randomly. So you can see this student journey for this candidate has 228 steps. So don't get overwhelmed by seeing that the steps are too many. Most of these steps are under 10 minutes, and many of them are even under 5 minutes. So you can do 10 steps, 15 steps in a day in multiple sessions. Like sometime, like you can use the system for half an hour. Sometimes you can use it for 10 minutes or 15 minutes to complete some of the steps. Now let's explore how each of these features behave. For example, if I click vocabulary, this student has got 15 tests available. If I click any of them, it is MCQs type of questions, and it's to verify whether the student knows this word or not. So student continues selecting answers for these 12 words, and then they will submit, and the results will be stored in their recent results. If we go to grammar, they've got 36 tests here. If the candidate goes to text comprehension, this is a very important one, because in IELTS reading you really need to understand the text properly, and this section helps you reach the exact sense of the text so that you can solve the questions accurately. And also there are accent training practices where you can train yourself in understanding British or American accents so that you can be quite comfortable in IELTS listening test. Then another very remarkable feature of this program is the focused practices. For example, if I click listening, there are 65 listening tests. And the beautiful thing is, all the summary completion tests are grouped in one section here. If I learn techniques to solve summary completion type of questions, then I can do all of these practices of just summary completion. And you can see each of these tests are about 10 minutes long, so you can do multiple tests in a day. Then, if I learn match information type of questions, I can do these 4 practices for that. For MCQs, I got this many practices for just that particular type of questions. So, instead of solving the whole IELTS listening, you can solve just one type of questions multiple times so that you develop a mastery. Similar is the case with reading. This student has got 88 practices available. Fill in the blanks type of questions is this many practices. Then you get some true, false, not given type of questions, so many practices. And every type of questions has got a lot of practices to do. Then you get writing. You got writing task 2 practices. You got academic task 1 practices. You can write in task general training 1 task 1 practices. And very important part, you can also practice planning writing task 2. These writing task 2 practices are just to practice how to plan your writing task. Then we can check resources. This student has got 25 documents available. Let me show you how a resource behaves. For example, if I click here, on this document, you can learn what the rule is. You can learn what this grammatical device is called. Then you can learn how to write it. What are the components of this sentence? Then you can see meaning in Urdu, in Arabic, in Hindi, and you can actually see how it is used in sentences. Later in the lectures, you'll learn how to use these documents to develop your own grammar and vocabulary. Anyways, let's go to the dashboard again. After resources, we were here. Now let's click lectures. This student has got 23 lectures available, and here are the groups of lectures. Like these are basic, listening, some of them are reading, and so on. So this is all about IELTS Precision program, where once you enter, you can assess your vocabulary and grammar. You can also develop them. Then you develop your skills for listening, reading, writing, and speaking by watching the lectures. Then you consolidate all your skills by doing the focused practices here. And the most important part, your best guide is your student journey, because you got every step. For example, if I click here, I can show you all the individual steps here. You see, for example, the first step is watching a lecture, then doing a grammar test, then a vocabulary test, then again a grammar test, and again a grammar test, and a vocabulary test, and a grammar test, and a vocabulary test, and a vocabulary test, and a vocabulary, and a vocabulary, and a vocabulary, and a grammar, and a grammar, and a grammar, and a vocabulary, and this is again a vocabulary test. Then you get a grammar test. So after ensuring that your grammar is quite at the required level, then you get a lecture. For example, here, the first lecture comes here. It's listening preparation strategy. So you watch a lecture to know as to how we'll develop our listening, how we'll prepare for the listening. Then you get another lecture, then you get some practices. Then you get a lecture, then again get some practices, and a lecture and a lot of practices. This is how the system works and ensures that every aspect of your IELTS preparation is properly covered. If at any time you need any clarification, if at any time you need any clarification or want some help, you can always reach us on WhatsApp. Thank you for watching.